listening to the Scoop Slam Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Scoop Slam Podcast. We are back. The United States might have come to a ceasefire, but CM Punk is dropping bombs on Monday Night Raw. Here to break it down with me, obviously, I am one half of your hosting team, Micah, otherwise known as Mr. Scoop. On the other end of the call, the historian of the Scoop Slam Podcast, he is Mr. Slam. It is Ryan.
Yo, Micah, we're live, we're unscripted, and we're going to do a little shooting tonight, buddy. I can't wait to get into it because this was a very interesting week of wrestling in general. And let's just not delay it anymore. Let's get into it.
A lot to break down, like you said. I think this has got to be one of those unfiltered, true opinion episodes where, like,
yeah,
I can't even really put a bow on it. It just is what it is.
You know, we had so much to talk about this week that we actually had to cut Dynamite from the rundown because it's so much to get into. This was a very eventful week as far as I think behind the scenes is more interesting than on camera this week.
And there's a lot to talk about with multiple angles behind the scenes. I'll do a quick hitter on Dynamite. I thought it was a good episode, one of the better episodes. Maybe it's also because I've just kind of WWE's pissed me off a little bit, but that's neither here nor there. Jericho is back. Kenny and MJF kind of have me excited for this weekend. We will have Dynasty predictions at the end of the episode, but on the slate for today, we got to talk about some SmackDown. We got NXT Stand and Deliver, which we're going to hit because it is their big pay-per-view of the year. And then Monday Night Raw as well. So a lot to break down and a lot of moving parts. Let's go ahead and go to Friday Night SmackDown from this past week. And we start off with the opening segment, which was Randy Orton coming out. And basically, he was going to reveal the partner. And the reveal, as I'm sure most of you has heard by now, because it has been just about everywhere, and there's been a lot of negative reaction to it, but the mystery caller that Randy had was Pat McAfee. And Pat grabbed the mic and basically cut a promo. I think you'll have a little bit more of the verbiage remembered, Ryan. That is why you're the historian. But he said that, you know, Randy is going to bring us back to the Attitude Era, and he talked about the ticket prices, and he called Cody a crappy champion.
He basically said that the product sucks, the champion sucks, ratings is down, tickets aren't selling, and the only guy that can fix that is Randy Orton. And Mike, we talked a little bit before off air about this, but I realize heels are supposed to lie. So I can maybe give that a pass, but I just don't think that the 20-year saga of Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton, it's blood feud that's been boiling, all the subtle glances that Randy gives to the title over the last couple of years. The direction that you needed to go in was Pat McAfee trying to bring back the Attitude Era. I don't get what they were going for here. Did it feel like a booking on the fly situation here, Mike? Because there's no way that this was what they had originally planned. Because what if the tickets were sold out, and what if ratings weren't down? Were they going to bring in Pat for this storyline?
I don't think so. I think, we talked about it a couple weeks ago. And I think you actually are the one that said it, that this had the potential to be one of the best stories in the Triple H era. Like, it had the history behind it. Randy was Dusty's last match. Like, there was so much that you could pull from. And Pat McAfee, who has zero ties to either of these guys, really, other than just being like a WWE commentator. I don't know why he's... Yeah, I like Pat. I feel like we were some of the only people that sung his praises for that Backlash match because I thought it was well executed. I thought the story made sense. It was a quick heater build to get Gunther, some heat. But with this, like, I honestly, and this is going to be the whole like overarching story of this entire episode to me. And I talked about this a little bit on TikTok as well. But Ryan, you remember last year when we got to WrestleMania 41 and there was no Rock. And Rock wasn't in the build at all past Elimination Chamber. You expected him at Mania, no show. And everybody just threw tomatoes at the main event, and they tried to shift all the blame towards The Rock because obviously no blame could go towards the GOAT, John Cena, right? I mean, come on, guys. He's just exempt of criticism.
That's right.
But remember, Rock went on, I want to say it was Pat McAfee's show, and basically said that the only reason he was inserted into the Cena-Cody feud is because they needed to sell tickets for Elimination Chamber.
But no, look, let me stop you right there. I don't even buy this a ticket sales issue because who the heck is buying WrestleMania tickets to see Pat McAfee and Jelly Roll? There's no way they expect more tickets to be sold because those two are on the marquee. And I don't even know if Jelly Roll's gonna be there. But online that this was a ticket sales issue, so they inserted Pat. That doesn't pass the smell test. Like, do these TKO people not know anything about pro wrestling? Are they overvaluing Pat McAfee's impact on pop culture? Maybe a synergy move with ESPN by involving Pat? I don't know, but the ticket sales thing that doesn't compute to me.
I just almost have a feeling that they thought that they had a quick fix. Like you said, with the synergy with ESPN, and I could be off, but like I just don't see why so many things would take like a hard shift. Again, I kind of said on TikTok, I can't understand in my mind how this guy booking this, in theory, this is only his call, is the same guy that gave us Black and Gold, the same guy that gave us the WrestleMania 40 build, and even some of the 41 stuff. Like, it had good stuff coming out of WrestleMania 40, like Punk and Drew. I just don't understand how in Triple H's mind Pat McAfee is what this story needed. And I feel like, to me, it feels like a tug of war almost. Like maybe somebody has an idea and Triple H has an idea and they're having to meet in the middle and it shows. Or maybe Triple H is just starting to get to the Vince point.
Maybe he wanted something unpredictable for the Cody Randy story. But even if we look at it like that, sometimes going the predictable route isn't always the wrong decision. I don't know, man. There's a lot of moving parts here that I don't think we'll get the full story to until documentary comes out years later, or maybe the new season of
Unreal.
There you go. It's we'll talk about the Cody promo, I'm sure, after this, but as far as the promo itself here to start SmackDown, Pat, Randy, Cody, it left me very confused, and we'll get even more confused later on in the show.
And everybody pretty much just immediately crapped on it online, and for good reason. I'm not saying like I felt the same way, but it was basically people taking like laughing victory laps, and I feel like
man, I saw one comment that said WCW should have won. It got so many likes and retweets. I'm like, come on, man, what the heck?
I mean, it's one of those things where I feel like I feel the same way that I did with WrestleMania 41. There's so many layup opportunities. Like the WrestleMania build last year and this year to me has been okay, Triple H, I'm Nikola Jokic. I got the ball. I'm passing you this fast break opportunity, Triple H. You just got to lay it up. You've got Cody versus Cena, easy story to tell. Heel Cena, easy story to tell. Roman and Punk, Cody Orton, like these easy stories to tell. And instead, Triple H stops at 3-point line, tries to chuck it. Fast break 3, brick. Like, that's what this feels like to me. You're just trying to do too much. Take the easy stuff while you have it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
And yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm using the basketball analogies because I'm upset about my Lakers. Get well soon, Luca. More stem cells, please. But
I thought you were gonna compare Triple H to Ben Simmons, having that easy layup and passing it off when he saw Trey Young ended his career. It may be the end of Triple H's booking career coming up soon because it feels like there's a lot of, like you said, tug of war for power. But a lot of the bad faith, grifters online saying, "Oh, WWE's worse than what it was in 2019, and this is WCW 2000 esque." Like none of these people seen those eras, so let's just calm down with all the hot takes there.
yeah,
Those
I
were
won't.
bad years.
I won't say 2019, and I won't say this has been like a full WCW 2000 year. I can agree the Pat McAfee decision feels like a WCW 2000 move.
There's some very strange angles in WCW 2000. I don't know if we got into Viagra on a pole match just quite yet, but we'll see. We are on the road to WrestleMania.
Well, anything's possible in the World Wrestling Federation. After that, we had a segment that I kind of wanted to hit on real quick. Not a whole lot to break down, and it did lead to the main event. But this is segment Mania, pal. We don't really talk about the matches. So
I get those pesky matches out the way. We don't hear about
yeah. So we had Trick Williams come out with Lil Yachty, which
Oh God,
again we're doubling down with the celebrities, and this
he
was
he got bullied online. Did you see
he
that?
did. I was gonna read the tweet real quick,
Go ahead.
in case people did not see it, because he came out with Trick, and really he was just the hype man. Um, it.
I thought he was coming out with Mello for a sec. I didn't know who was with him.
I didn't think it was that bad, to be honest with you. But
People online are sick of the celebrity involvement, even though WWE as a company has been in bed with every celebrity since 1985. But it's suddenly bad when when WWE does hit in 2026. I don't know.
I think Lil Yachty really suffered from being having to follow the Pat McAfee stuff.
And people they still got PTSD from Travis Scott.
Well, that
Of course,
too.
they see another African American rapper, and you know how some of the wrestling fans get online about that.
They draw weird comparisons to Kofi
They
and
do.
Javon Evans for no reason.
What do you mean? You know what? Let's add another member to the Hurt Business.
Regardless of that, I think that he suffered from that. I think he also suffers from the fact that Jelly Roll has been in here because, in all honesty, right? If you had to give me 2 celebrities this year to be a part of WrestleMania, give me Speed and give me Lil Yachty. You know why? Because they're not involved in the main event feuds, and they're really not in the way. Like Speed, I think he's going to do his stuff. He'll get a lot of eyeballs on the product. He's not going to insult anybody. And he's in there with Logan. So it fits.
I will say this one thing, Micah. I don't know if you've seen it online, but there's like a Photoshop picture of all the celebrities that are involved in WrestleMania, and they're like photoshopped over the heads of the promotional shot of WrestleMania of them at the poker table. I did think that was pretty funny. I thought that was pretty
funny. But yeah, and with Yachty, like he's really just Trick's hype man. I didn't see a big deal with that. It didn't bother me. But like Jelly Roll and Pat being involved in the main event feud, just like Travis was last year, I think that's what really irks me. And Yachty has the unfortunate circumstance of having to be involved in the same time period as that. But he tweeted out at Lil Yachty, I understand y'all upset, but don't try and step on my explicitive moment. I'm at the TV screen every Monday and Friday religiously. I've been to more PLEs than most, which I don't think that's the
Yeah.
angle you should take. You got more money than most, but
Well, he's a fan though.
yeah. I mean, he's been to more PLEs than most celebrities. Okay, I can give him that. I probably know more history than most of y'all. Who's to say that I don't deserve to be a part of something that I love so dearly? And if we're being honest here, if I'm Lil Yachty and I'm a celebrity and they ask me to come be a part of WrestleMania, heck yeah, I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean? So I don't fault him per se. I more so fault Jelly Roll and Pat for being like in a main event feud. But even then, you almost can't fault like Jelly Roll. Like if he's a fan and he wants to be a part and they ask him, what's he gonna say? No? I think the gripe really needs to be more with Triple H and whoever's inviting these celebrities to be pulled in to these feuds.
But we don't know who this is coming from. This could be Triple H call or TKO call. We don't know. But yeah, I don't see why that Lil Yachty caught all the heat for Pat McAfee's involvement. That just seemed like he's the right guy in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah. However, Sammy came out later because they're building towards their match at Mania. Melo would also come out and basically say that he wanted a rematch. Trick kind of goads Sammy into giving Melo a rematch. And I felt like in this segment, you could really tell why they see Trick and Melo in different places. Because over the past few months, you know, they've really tried to boost up Melo, and I think it's worked. But the fans were way more interested in what Trick had to say. They were reacting better to it. And I think that's just evidence of why Trick will be a multi-time world champion. And Melo, you know, I only see maybe a flash in the pan world title for him.
Yeah. I mean, anybody with eyes would be able to tell you that. I mean, look at him.
Well, the people online believe that Melo is world championship material 10 times over, but I
He's
just,
being held back by Triple K, huh?
yeah.
That what you're saying, Mike?
I'm just saying, when you look at him and Trick and Oba, one of these things is not like the other.
Give me Royce Keys and send Carmelo to a main event. I'm fine with that.
Triple A.
Yeah, they need a guy. NXT, bro. Let's send him back down to NXT.
Oh man, he's good in the mid card role, but I just can't see him more than that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that mid card IC US title. Every era needs a Kofi Kingston. Every era needs a. I hate I'm comparing them to.
Why you got to compare him to Kofi?
Well, every era needs a Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, and that seems like a slap in the face to the Dragon. I don't know. What would you compare Carmelo Hayes to? John Morrison? Every era needs a John Morrison.
Carlito, Dolph Ziggler, like your guy that, like I said, he may get a flash in the pan, he may not.
I don't think that. I think it's disrespectful to Dolph, man. I think it's
praise
pretty
coming
disrespectful
from you.
to Dolph. Yeah, I know, but I don't know. We'll move on.
Well, I got one more thing, and then we can move on to the Cody promo. You know, the fans were really reacting to Sammy here in a negative light. I don't think it helps that Trick is his opponent, because Trick is really trying to be a heel, but the fans ultimately love him. What do you do with Sammy? Because it seems like the internet, you know, loud minority is starting to become the majority in these arenas.
Well, see, that's the beauty of having a guy like Sami Zayn. Has a lot of range as a heel and a baby face. So I don't think he's necessarily a guy that stands out in one particular role. He can do either or. He can be a great baby face and be a great heel. So if you gotta turn him heel after WrestleMania, I think he'll do well in that role. and we'll see what happens. But I think the babyface run has come to an end, and he's become a little stale as that babyface, that quote unquote underdog. So we'll see where they go. Maybe a change of scenery, like a switch over to Raw would help, or just maybe a fresh start as a heel on SmackDown. There's a lot of directions you can go with Sami Zayn. I don't think he's necessarily dead in the water if he can't be a babyface.
No, I agree. Like, he's definitely not, what's the word, like typecasted into one role. This is all he can
Yeah,
do.
he's not a
But
Rey Mysterio. He's not a lifetime babyface that you have to
yeah,
have a babyface.
but you do think it's time to turn him heel?
Yeah. He has to be freshened up. It's time,
Yeah.
and he still has that. He's still a dark horse to win that Rumble and to go main event WrestleMania next year in Saudi, if they have it. I don't know.
Yeah, and he could still do that as a heel, like
Yeah, he
he's
still could.
taking
Yeah,
his moment. So,
that's right. We'll see.
but after that, we had the aforementioned Cody promo where
Shoot,
after
promo,
a
pal. We're
yeah,
shooting, cowboy.
uh he comes out, he shoot Crossroads Kit Wilson, so they have you believe, after a fun little tag match. And
Can I
he
read you? Can I read you a tweet real quick? Wrestle Ops. It was about the Cody promo. It was Cody Rhodes promo responding to Randy Orton and Pat McAfee's attack earlier in the night was not listed internally on the planned rundown for the show. There is belief that some of Rhodes' comments were him shooting about TKO having inserted McAfee into the story via PW Insider. So that was the word going around in the aftermath of SmackDown on Friday about this promo.
well, I honestly cannot even remember what all Cody said because it was kind of just it felt a little buzzwordy to me. Like he was
He's
hitting all the smart mark terms to try and dunk on everybody, but uh yeah, I mean he basically talked about McAfee and McAfee's involvement and that the people don't trust him like the higher ups and they haven't before, and you see how that turned out for him. What do you think, Ryder?
I I'm very I don't bro, it's interesting because it seemed like because what if everybody was positive about this when McAfee got revealed to be the man that Randy was talking to? What if people online were positive about this? Would this promo have ever happened? Did they have two different angles they were going to go down just in case it was received positively or negatively? Because would this have made sense as a promo if everybody was excited that McAfee was Randy's little buddy?
Oh no, not at
Because
all.
he
Maybe if
because
he just
Cody said in the promo, I'm butchering the quote, but he said that'd be like the Scott Hall and Kevin Nash revealing that they have a third man, and the third man being Disco Inferno. So what I I don't understand this. Help me here, Micah.
I'm kind of lost for words myself, to be honest with you. I don't know because in theory, if the people did enjoy it, then would he have went out and just talked about Pat and just
There, it's
basically?
does it seem like this was Cody trying to make chicken salad out of chicken? You know what? And
I
this
would
is them
say,
completely booking on the fly because this makes no sense when you actually put it down and read it out. Like, how does this make any sense?
unless it's
Why can't Cody never just have a normal one-on-one match at Mania?
oh no, never.
Last time he had that was what, 39?
Yeah, when
Why
he
is all
came back.
Yeah, all of Cody's feuds are like this. The WrestleMania feuds always got extra baggage attached to them.
And not only that, I just don't like I can't understand. This is one of the lowest rated SmackDowns of all time on Cage Match. I don't know how much stock you guys put in Cage Match, but It was not a good episode, and I think, like I said, the tug of war really showed with segments like this. But in terms of like the prior planning, I don't know. Like, I really can't draw the line of like what is true and what's not. Maybe that's the genius of it, but I still feel like you're damaging yourself. You're doing more damage than you are good by doing stuff like this. Or is it one of those situations where they said, all right, Nick Khan wants Pat McAfee in this, or Ari Emanuel wants Pat McAfee in it. But I know, Triple H is apparently online enough to know that the fans are going to hate it. All right,
Yeah.
Cody, be ready to go if they start hating it. You know what I mean? Is it one of those? Like he's forced?
Did you ever? How long have you been a fan, Micah? 2008, 2009.
2008, yeah.
So what's that? 18 years. Did you ever
Somewhere in
think in
there.
your
I got lost along my way.
Did you ever think in your 18 years of watching wrestling on again, off again, that the main event angle for WrestleMania is basically the ticket prices are too high and ticket sales are down and the product sucks? Did you ever think this was going to be a main event angle for WrestleMania? Because that's basically what it turned into. The business sucks, and this is why Randy Orton's going to save the business. Are we overthinking this?
I will say this. If you had said that in 2012 with The Rock versus John Cena, okay, I might could buy that story. That Rock's
The
gonna,
product
take us back
sucks.
to yeah, the product sucks. The
Maybe
Rock's
so.
taking us back to the Attitude Era. I can understand that because it was also like 10 to 12 years ago at this point. But like, brother, the Attitude Era was 25 years ago.
Dang, was it?
It was. Make you feel old, but like it's true.
Yeah.
Why are we still trying to go back to that? Why can we not move forward? Why can we not say Randy's going to take us back to the WrestleMania 40 days? Like those were good. You know what I mean? That I can remember recently. And I saw a tweet and I think it was really in bad faith because I think we live in a different era, an information era where people know more things. But somebody tweeted that basically them bringing this up and bringing up the Scott Hall Disco Inferno turn would be like if when the NWO started, they were mentioning stuff that happened in like the AWA. Like it's been that long ago. Now I think they
Yeah.
meant it in a way of like, well, why are we still talking about stuff 25 years ago? Like, why would people know this? But we live in a different age. That stuff has
Yeah.
been highly publicized.
There's been
However,
so many documentaries, docu-series. It's been a well-known history at this point. I don't think it's out of bounds for them to bring that up. But go ahead, Mike.
well, it's not out of bounds, but it is crazy that we're trying to say the product has sucked for a quarter of a century. We're trying to get back to this. Like,
We just went through a little mini boom period, not even 2 years ago.
yeah.
Uh,
So I don't
I'm
know.
I'm still confused, man. I don't know what angle, what story we trying to tell here, bro. They had it. They had the story. The old teacher being surpassed by the student. The Larry Zabisco, Bruno San Martino type angle. They could have told that here, but now we get. I don't even know what this is, man. We'll see what they do on Friday, but I'm still confused. I don't know where we're going from here.
I guess I'll say this. I kind of got to watch Friday to see how they make it work.
Yeah, I'm gonna
But
be there.
is that a
Are we gonna get
good
another?
reason?
Are we, am I being too hopeful by saying that maybe this is part of a bigger reveal? Like you remember when Rock got announced for Elimination Chamber and he said that he wanted Cody's soul, and you thought that that was going to be the angle, but then they swerved us by having Cena turn heel. Maybe they're just giving us a false sense of security by having Pat come out here and pretend like he's the mystery man, and then we end up getting the final boss. Am I being too hopeful, Mike?
I
Am
think
I
you're
being too
being too
optimistic?
hopeful.
I don't know, man. He said he brought up the Attitude Era. Pat McAfee brought it up. Final boss, Attitude Era alum.
That would infinitely make it better, but
There you go. That kicks off
I'm
the
not
feud
buying
for
it.
the year-long build to WrestleMania in Saudi. Come on, Micah. Come on.
Are we still doing that?
Why not? Oh well. I guess there's a couple reasons why we shouldn't go there.
I was about to say.
Well, all right, but still though, am I being too optimistic there, Micah?
I think so. I think
It's over.
I think it's
We're
over.
so not back. We're so
Wait,
not back.
yeah.
It's over.
Once again, the fast break layup. Just take the fast break layup.
We'll look from
But
three.
yeah. Oh, got Lonzo
Denzel.
shooting percentage.
You got Denzel Valentine out there.
Oh, Valentine. But we'll move on. We're gonna travel to St. Louis, Missouri, for NXT's WrestleMania Stand and Deliver. Sexy Red was there. She opened the show with Shawn Michaels.
Let me hold up. Let me stop you right there. Did this feel like a WrestleMania type show? Because this is supposed to be their biggest show of the year, Stand and Deliver. Did this feel like WrestleMania level to you? The crowd was dead. The card was kind of multi-man to the max, and the one-on-one feuds were kind of just thrown together. What did this feel like a Mania card, Micah?
I don't think so, and I think that it suffers from not being WrestleMania weekend. I know it's jam packed, like having Stand and Deliver Saturday morning, but
Yeah, it's
when you
6 o'clock
had
in the
it in
morning.
Vegas, like they had a good crowd, or in whatever city they're in.
They were doing runtime at 6 a.m. for that show, so I don't know if that's the answer, but I just think the builds weren't there to be WrestleMania worthy. Maybe the Zarya and Soul match had the story and the stakes to it, but even that felt kind of, just felt kind of there. I didn't see like this is the biggest potential matchups you can do in NXT, and we're gonna have it on this WrestleMania level show with a hot crowd in a sold out, jam packed arena. Not, you know, some former Evolve jabronis in a basically a bingo hall with little to no heat. That it felt like that, man. I don't know. It just felt off to me.
Yeah, I think it's just the state of NXT right now. They're in a weird spot because they just lost 3 big stars, and I honestly, we could talk about it while we go through it, but I think another crop is probably going to get called up within the next year because they've got some guys that really don't have anything else to do. And once
Maybe
them
in the
guys
next
get
2 weeks.
called up, it's sad state.
Yeah. I was gonna say maybe in the next 2 weeks they'll call us some people. But the Raw at the Mania usually got debuts.
Yeah, that's true. I could see it, but we'll start off for the NXT Women's Championship. JC Jane versus Lola Vice versus Kendall Gray. Overall, I thought the match was a little slow to start, clunky as well, but it did pick up in the back half. I thought there was a really cool sequence when Lola hit her like corner hip attack type thing. Then Kendall powered up and hit a few big moves, and then JC kind of cut her off and kind of brought the whole the whole sequence home with a big running knee. And ultimately, I thought if there was anything insulting. I think the fans were behind Lola. I haven't seen enough of Kendall Gray to really say one way or the other. And I think JC Jane has been one of those people that, like you said, turned chicken crap into chicken. She was
Salad.
off as a transition champion,
Yeah.
and you see what she's done with it. I think she'll be a decent acquisition to the main roster. And I think, she might sidle here and there. I need to see her character fleshed out a little more on the main roster. But for the most part, I was excited for Lola, and I thought the back and forth type finish was well executed.
Were you watching this live?
No.
Okay, well, I know the theme of our show is shooting, but it seemed like JC Jane's top was shooting on her the whole match because there was a lot of blackout moments in this match live, and apparently there was a big wardrobe malfunction with JC Jane in this match.
Is that what that was?
That was, yeah.
I was
She couldn't
watching it
keep the
on
girls in.
replay, and I thought it was like just
Some weird
bugging
angle.
because they were shooting it on YouTube for the first time.
Yeah, it had weird. If you watch it on video on demand, you'll see that there's like weird angles for a lot of the spots in this match. But if you were watching live, pal, you would have saw a lot of dark screen at multiple points in that match. Because yeah, I don't know who made that gear, but she needs to probably get a new guy to make that gear because not a good way to potentially spend your last NXT match, adjusting your wardrobe like I don't know, your Ronda Rousey in your UFC prime, adjusting your shorts all the time. But yeah, man, as far as the match goes, it was okay. I thought it was probably the match of the night. I'm surprised you're not higher on Kendall Gray. It seems like everybody is now. But I thought they were going to ride the momentum that she has and maybe crown her as NXT champion. But yeah, Lola Vice is good too. I like Lola Vice. She's been there a while. And yeah, it was a solid match from what it was.
So is Kendall Gray the one that Dave's been hyping up, or is that?
Oh yeah, no, that is the greatest North American produced professional. He said that she will be the greatest North American women's professional wrestler. He said. What Dave said.
See, for some reason, I was mixing her and Kalani Jordan up.
Very similar names.
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, she was fine.
She can
I
do
don't know.
moves.
Yeah, I didn't see anything that really just blew me away. So I don't know. I was kind of excited for Lola because I enjoyed her underground match that we saw last time.
She's good. Yeah, I like Lola. She's good.
So congrats to her. Lola takes the win. The following match was for the NXT Tag Team Championships. The Vanity Project versus the Americanos.
I like these guys.
There's something about them, man. Brad Baylor probably has the most punchable face I've seen in wrestling in probably 15 years. And that's a good thing.
Is that the one that looks like a young Shane Douglas?
Yes.
Is that one? Oh, okay. He does look like young Shane Douglas. If anybody can bring up a picture of him right now, look at both those guys. It's almost I had to look it up, see if that was Shane Douglas's kid. So similar.
He is, and he looks like the most like frat bros, man. Like I don't know, it's something about him. You just like want to punch him.
Like you'd be hanging out with Clavicular. Yeah.
Yeah. That you know what? That's a great comparison.
We need a collab character on WWE television, man.
No, hold on. I think they're
That'd be a
getting
good
that
wrestling
in Evolve.
Oh, are we getting that?
I cannot remember the guy's name, but I will have to text it to you. If I can find it, I swear there was some dude that was talking about like how he was, I want to say he said looks maxing, like in the promo or something maxing.
Man, I hate that we're bringing up Clav so much, but if you don't know who that is, he's a very unintentionally hilarious guy. But yeah, I think it'd be a perfect wrestling character to have a guy like that.
I wish I could remember what the guy's name was, but yeah, it's definitely
That's where these guys came from, Evolve.
Yeah, I need to find their roster or something, but if I can find it, I'll tell you.
These guys, the Vanity Project, they need to get a little more toned up. But as far as like the athleticism and the selling, I think they got it pretty much down. They just need to. They're a little skinny to be taken as a threat on the main roster, but they're still young, so we'll see what they can develop into. But yeah, Lost Americanos, man. There was a lot of people online complaining that this is what Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate have been reduced to, is playing the luchador comedy characters when they're so talented as professional wrestlers. You have a problem with that, Micah? Tyler Bate, Pete Dunne being masked up like that?
I mean, respectfully, I think those guys have found
They
their
had a ceiling.
ceiling.
Yeah, they weren't going to be the main event of WrestleMania.
Because if we're being honest, man, it's the same with what's his face? I was just thinking the same thing earlier. Like with the Pete Dunnes and the Tyler Bates of the world, Johnny Gargano, because he's later on this card as well. There's just a
Washed.
ceiling.
Yeah. These guys are supposed to be the future of the company, and thank God that we didn't get that future.
Yeah, because
But if you really think about it, that stunted the growth of the current product right there. Because we got a lost generation of guys like that shouldn't have been platformed at a high level in NXT. If we're being honest, if you knew those type of guys weren't gonna have a future on the main roster, why platform them as main event top level talent? I still cannot get that. But yeah, everybody love black and gold.
yeah, we've talked about that though at
Yeah,
large. His name is Main Man Mike Cunningham. I finally found it.
Oh God.
Please look it up. I'm gonna send you this promo, but he has a tweet and he basically talks about how he's got main man energy, which honestly, like he would fit perfectly in the Vanity Project. Maybe I'm misremembering it, but I swear he said something about like looks max. I want to say he said main man maxing. Don't quote me, but I would almost put like $50 on it.
We'll see if he gets added to the Vanity Project. But Micah, you got anything to add on to this tag match? I thought it was okay. I mean, it was fine. It was there.
Yeah, solid tag, nothing to write home about. It did its job. I think the Vanity Project has a bright future.
Didn't feel like WrestleMania level, but it was there.
Yeah. I mean, it got some guys some exposure, especially being on YouTube. I did think one like move or sequence that I liked out of this, there was a really good tag and then like a fake out where like Brad Baylor kind of came off the rope running at the guy. Like he was gonna clothesline him or something, and he ducked out the way, and then I want to say his name's Jackson Smokes or Ricky Smokes, something like that.
Oh, my name's Ricky Smokes.
Okay, Ricky. So he then like when Baylor got out of the way, he kind of had hidden behind him, and then nailed one of the Americanos with a spear. I thought that was a cool sequence.
What? Who were the heels here?
Well, yeah.
Because we had both guys, or all four individuals trying to cheat, right?
Yeah, because El Grande got involved.
Everybody loves Sean's booking, but when you actually look at what he's booking, yeah, you start to scratch your head a little bit.
Well, yeah, Ryan, but we got Sexy Red and Lola Vice in the backstage area. You know.
Yeah, what were they doing back there, Micah? Give us a rundown of that.
They were yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a Sexy Red song I can relate this to. It was interesting.
Sean
People
loves
like the
some Sexy
Goonie.
Red. You said what? People like the what?
People like the Goonin. And
okay. All right.
there's not really a well, there's one song I can think of, but that's not gonna be. I don't even think that's PG. We'll move on. Following that, we had Sol Ruka versus Zarya, and what was
Vanity
the?
Project. Vanity Project won that last match. If we didn't say it.
Oh yeah, of course. Their tag team title maxing.
Okay.
Following that, we had the rubber match, Sol Ruka versus Zarya. And this one was honestly the one I was most excited to see, just because I kind of have been following this feud for a little bit out of all of them. I did want to see the main event just because I got to see my guy Ricky. But I was interested to see what these ladies did. I felt like if any of these matches were going to blow me away, this was going to be the one. And they started off hot, and that makes sense, obviously, for the feud because they've been building it for a long time. But I don't know. Maybe it was just me. The match was good, but I personally just felt like it never got out of second gear.
Yeah, didn't feel like a blood feud, but I don't know the ending was very questionable because if you're building up a monster heel, why have them lose their first big match while being a monster heel? Tony Khan has a problem with that. And I think Sean kind of has a problem with that as well because this had all the makings for a Zarya win. I'm not a big Zarya fan. I don't know how you feel about her, but if you're gonna go all the way with her and justify the heel turn, you gotta win this first feud because now everybody just looks at her as a loser.
Yeah. And I honestly don't think Sol Ruka needed it. She had kind of the main roster
Oh
rub when she went up to the Royal Rumble and did her thing. She's still going to be a big star, even if she lost this match. But for
yeah,
Zarya, where do you go?
maybe I guess another match if Soul doesn't get drafted to Raw or SmackDown, which is it's a possibility, but I don't know, man. The first match, you gotta smash the heel over in the first match. That just doesn't make any booking sense to me.
Yeah. I don't know. It was just questionable to me. And then like I guess by some token, and like you said, this is kind of a Tony
Ma-
Khan decision because he does this, but like she ate 3 finishers, so you can kind of give her an out, but at the same time, she should have just won.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, a little disappointing for me personally. I think Soul does get called up soon. Maybe after SummerSlam, maybe not WrestleMania, but yeah, she's a star, so I don't it'll be sooner rather than later.
We'll see.
But following that, uh, for the NXT North American Championship, we had
Oh my
Miles
god,
Bourne versus Johnny Gargano.
bro! I invoked the one match skip rule. I did end up going back to watch this, but yeah, I probably should have just stuck with the skip because I don't know what they see in this kid, Miles Bourne. I'm not seeing it, but everybody that was beating the drum about Gargano, being the best wrestler in the world, he's officially Boston Celtics Shaq. If he was ever the best in the world, this is what he is now. Or Paul George on the 76ers. Just cue up the music, Micah,
Whoa,
because
he's been
Johnny
cooking
Gargano,
now.
Gargano is officially washed because this match never got out of second gear. And Miles Bourne is bland. He's blander than Blandy Orton. How do you outbland Randy?
The
He's
original
shrunken.
Bland.
Yeah, he's shrunken Randy Orton. I don't get it. Am I missing something? Am I not? I know you're an NXT watcher, Micah, so maybe he's cutting some good babyface promos on Thursday. Is that what I'm missing? Or Tuesday? What? I think it's Tuesday. Am I missing something, Micah? What's
I
going on with
think
Miles? Give me a rundown, because they love this guy apparently.
I
Sean
think
does.
he is a very raw prospect. Like I can see concepts of something down the line. I like him. Like, he's kind of a natural babyface. I honestly put more of the blame on Johnny in this instance. But I gotta, like, listen, I respect Randy. Randy is one of the legends, right? Like, we call him Blandy, whatever. Like, he's got a history of doing some not so interesting
We
things the past 5 years.
we liked him all the way up until maybe 2013, and then that's when we just started phoning it in regularly.
Yeah. But, man, I don't know. Like, as a wrestler today, if I had to pick a guy to emulate, I just don't know that Randy Orton is the guy that I'll be like, yeah, that's him. That's my
But it's not
inspiration.
it's not even like he's trying to emulate, 2003, 2004 Legend Killer Randy, when he was at his coolest. He's emulating 2021 Randy. Why is he? What is this?
And not only that, and Miles Bourne is not the only one with this, but brother, if you're gonna be one of those guys where about to say, oh, he looks like a young this guy, don't steal his moves. That little
No,
like power slam, I was like, all right, man. Like at this point, you're cosplaying.
does he remind you of like a, if any of our sports fans out there, Dylan Raiola
Oh
cosplaying as Patrick
man,
Mahomes, does it remind you of that?
a little bit.
It just is not as impressive, and it just feels so forced to the point where it just looks so cringe. And he's not even as menacing as far as like size wise as Randy. He's like 5'10".
Yeah. Well, see, okay, the other guy people do this with is Kyle Fletcher, and at least with Fletcher, I'm like, okay, Fletcher's big.
He got a physique,
He's
yeah.
Yeah, he's got the physique. He's got like the look. It's a little, physically kind of looks like Randy, but his gear's different. He's got his own kind of style. But with Miles Bourne, like I think he's just figuring it out still, I should say. I like him. I think he's just a very raw prospect, and I need to reevaluate him in 2 to 3 years and see maybe
I,
where his growth is.
I noticed what developmental was for. He's got a great story. I mean, he's if you actually sat down read his actual story, I mean, it's very inspirational. But man, that can only take you so far. You got to come up with your own character, your own gimmick, your own persona. And if you're gonna do the zigzag, you better put some stank on that zigzag, because that was one of the worst zigzags I've ever seen. Did you see that?
That
That's his
too.
finisher. That was embarrassing. At that
I'm
point, just
not
give him the RKO. Just let him go all the way with it.
I'm not saying guys got to come up with something new because, like, eventually, it becomes impossible to make up new finishers. But
It
I
looks
don't
like
know,
crap.
man. Because then, like, Joe Hendries is just like he hits the AA, and that aggravates me. Like,
He missed the jelly roll choke slam too.
yeah, I feel like there's a lot of guys in NXT that just copy moves from like the stars of yesteryear. And like, I'm sorry, but whenever if you do a spear, I don't immediately think of Edge. There's a lot of guys that use the spear. When you use the AA, I'm gonna think of Cena. Whenever you use a cutter, I'm probably gonna think of Randy or DDP. And if you're using the zigzag, there's one direct person that I'm thinking of.
Yeah, and at least if you steal the cutter, like guys now have that as a finisher, multiple guys. But at least with like Javon Evans, it's spectacular.
It's
Or
a
when
little different.
When Cody does it, it's a little more. It's more spectacular than the regular RKO. Or when Sol Ruka does it, it's more spectacular. So if you're gonna steal something, at least put a little extra stank on it, or just do it as well as the other guy that did it. But yeah, man, I can see what they want. They want this guy to be something, but he's not gonna be something until he gets out of the baby Randy Orton shadow. Wait a minute, hold up now. You know what he needs, Micah?
Go
He
ahead.
needs a Pat McAfee.
Oh God.
Need a McAfee, man.
Matter of fact, that's who the call up should have been. Just give
Oh,
Randy
man,
his
that would have
clone.
been good. That would have been good. Man, give us the pin, man.
You are my
That
young
would
boy.
be good. You are my son.
Yes.
Just make him Randy's son.
Yeah, make a Miles Orton. I can see it
Bro,
now.
Randy's what, 46? That could be. That's possible. He could be his dad.
Believe it. If you look at the two of them, you're not like,
Hey, bro, people could buy it when Jason Jordan got revealed as Kurt Angle's son. Tell me Miles Bourne couldn't pull off Randy's son?
I have had people
How's he
legitimately
gonna hear
ask
the
me
voices?
that.
How's he gonna hear the voices, Micah?
All right.
Micah?
I hear you.
Yeah.
I care. My lawyer has advised me
Come
not
on.
to respond to that.
Moving on.
Oh, for the
Miles Bourne retains, by the way, everybody.
yes, he could. Well, thank God, Johnny Gargano don't need a
Johnny
championship.
Johnny Takeover is officially dead.
Yeah,
Washed.
he taking over the catering and Evolve. Next up we had the NXT Women's North American Championship. Tatum Paxley versus Blake Monroe.
I didn't hate this. I thought this was all right.
I did too. I'm telling you, I kind of like Tatum. She's got a weird.
Yeah, you know what? I gave you a lot of pushback last time we seen her. Maybe because it was in a multi-man match, but this go round in a one-on-one match, I thought she did pretty good in this. Blake Monroe too. Thought they both did well.
To me, Tatum has some inventive stuff. I wrote it down here. She had early on in the match like a backslide pin almost that she then turned into kind of a upwards
Like
Boston crab. Yeah, where Blake was like on her neck some. I thought that was cool. She hit a step up enziguri off the apron into Blake Monroe, who was kind of going through the ropes to the outside to try and grab Tatum. She lost me a little bit with the superplex, then pop up into a suplex, then pop up into a Falcon's Arrow. Seth
Oh
does
yeah,
the same thing, and I
yeah,
can't stand it. But especially
yeah,
when you see a girl or a lady, I should say, that is 150 pounds. Come on.
yeah. Yeah. That was a little ridiculous. Yeah.
But in terms of, it's something about it. I don't know what it is, but I have just had this feeling from last year to this year, and it still rings true. We'll see if it holds through WrestleMania, but it's something about what they do with the ladies now that I'm just more impressed with them than the guys' matches. And I hate to sound like, that guy that's 300 pounds is Nikki Bella t-shirt on, but like, I don't know what it is, something about it, but the best matches on this card were the women's NXT championship match and the women's North American championship match. And I don't even think that's debatable.
Uh, yeah. I'll give you that. A lot of the male talents on this show, a lot of the men, they they didn't have bad matches. It was just this one was more impressive. Yeah, okay, all right, I give you that. I give you that. I was trying to push back, but I don't think I can.
But overall, I thought it was a really good match. I think both ladies will be good acquisitions to the main roster eventually. I also
Whoa,
think both of them will come up sooner rather than later.
hold up now. Oh, I saw a couple of her promos, Paxley, Tatum, and yeah, she's got that NXT itis when it comes to her dialogue and her cadence on those backstage promos that I do not like. But she can do the moves, Micah. She can do the moves. I think I'm more impressed with the men's promo ability as far as like on the top of the card, Ricky Saints, Ethan Page, compared to the ladies side of the card with Tatum Paxley backstage with Shiloh Hill doing their, I don't know, Disney comedy hour. I just don't like that.
Well, I mean, you're not wrong, but I do see Tatum as kind of maybe a new age, like Alexa Bliss type. Like she could get over in that role.
Oof.
Uh The promos need work. You know, I'm not gonna deny that, but she's got time.
Okay.
As far as Blake goes, I did see this week on NXT. I haven't watched the full episode, Ryan, but they've put Blake and the Vanity Project together.
Yeah, I did see the. I thought I did see that. They had something on the show, backstage segment on the actual show that alluded to them being a package moving forward. They've been having segments together over the last couple weeks. So, they just it's a weird decision because I thought, but if this elevates her to the championship scene, I don't see a problem with it.
Yeah. I think it could be a good pairing long term for everybody involved, but we'll see what they do. Tatum picked up the win here, and she is a fan favorite in NXT. She got a pretty good pop. We had a backstage segment with Dark State, mainly between the two that we like, Dion Lennox and
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Is it Saquon Sugars?
That's right. Yeah, I forgot. We
Okay.
forgot to talk about that. But Dion Lennox came out. That shows you how much we're paying attention to this show. Dion Lennox came out to beat up Blandy Orton Jr. in the match with Gargano. Lennox came out and beat up, after the bell rung, and then Sugars had a problem saying that Dion Lennox was maybe out for himself, and then Lennox assured him that he's looking out for the team, and sowing some seeds for some future turmoil with that faction, which couldn't come soon enough because I think Sugars and Lennox by himself, they're destined to do bigger and better things without those other two jabronis.
Yeah, I didn't really talk about a lot of the backstage segments that transpired on this show, but I wanted to mention this one because to me, Saquon Sugars is like probably top 3 promos they have in NXT. He is so believable to me, and
Yeah.
he doesn't have the NXT
itis.
Yeah.
The
At all.
NXT itis of promos. Yeah, I was just about to say that. He sounds natural when he speaks.
And so I think he will get over. He is a little undersized, but I don't think it matters. If he can talk you into the building, he'll be fine.
It kind of reminds me like an Enzo Amore.
I was going to say the same thing.
He's not, I mean, I think he's maybe a little bigger than Enzo, but it just, every time he speaks, it sounds natural. And he's going to get over wherever he goes on the main roster. He's going to get over. Just a guy like that, you can't help but to listen when he's talking.
Yeah. He is 6'1", 225.
Maybe 5'10", 5'11".
Somewhere
He'll
in
be
there.
fine.
He's 25. And the ability to speak like that at 25 years old,
sky's the limit.
I'm interested to see what they do with him in the next few years.
Yeah, that's your next. If he's not main eventing with Santana by next year, I would think there's something wrong with that developmental system that Sean's running. Because Mike Santana is a free agent now, or at least coming up in the summer. So he's WWE bound.
Huh. Well, poor TNA, man. We hadn't crossed the line in 4 months.
We'll be back eventually. Stay tuned.
We got JCW to check you out, but
oh
god. Following that, we had the main event of the night, the Fatal 4-Way for the NXT Championship. Ethan Page versus Ricky Saints versus Tony D'Angelo versus NXT champion Joe Hendry. First off, give my man Ethan Page some different music. Oh my god, this is like ear destruction.
Ego. You don't like that?
I hate it. The other part of it is not bad, but it's like so heavily auto-tuned. Ego. Like I can't stand it. And I hear it in 2K all the time, and it just aggravates me.
You gotta turn off the music, pal.
Give us Spotify back.
Oh man. Can you imagine? I wish.
I paid $30. No lie. I ain't gonna say that, but
Oh no. Quiet down now.
yeah.
Don't
But
tell
I
him that.
would.
Yeah.
I would pay $300 for GTA 6. Just make it $300.
You asked, we listened.
Yeah.
$400.
New console. Your new console and GTA will be $1,500. Take it or leave it.
Raise the prices.
Well, we got some ticket prices to talk about after this, but yeah, as far as the match went, I thought it was a different dynamic with a fatal four-way because typically you see the two guys team up, then they eventually split off for the rest of the match. But Ricky and Ethan stayed a team pretty much the whole time, with a
Come on
couple
now.
exceptions.
Yeah, I was about to push. Come on now. They Ethan dove on Ricky for I guess a splash or something. You remember that part in the match where Ethan Page was going up top and there was two guys at the bottom, and he decided he was going to splash Ricky instead of was that D'Angelo? That was I don't know, but yeah, they started throwing hands at points in this match.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying, eventually they did come back. Like even into kind of the final sequences of the match, they were still trying to do some teamwork stuff. Which I thought was just a different element. I like Ethan, I like Ricky. Joe Hendry, man, I don't see it with him. I
He's
see mid card, I see funny, and I just can't buy it. He's very bland.
well, Danhausen needs an adversary on the main roster.
Well,
And that's what you're gonna get with Joe Hendry. Because main event, he is not. Every place he's gone that he's been the main event of, it just hasn't worked. And I'm glad they took the title off him. I don't know about the other guy they put the title on, but I'm sure we'll get to it. But yeah, he at least he has a gimmick. At least he has a character. He can do something on the main roster. But when you look over there, Micah, and you see Tony D, I love the Don. Well, let me back it up. I didn't love it, but I thought it was pretty entertaining when he was playing the mob boss type character, Tony D'Angelo. But now, without that, he just looks so bland. And he has the bland music. Nobody cared when he came out there. And he's trying to be a powerhouse. It just doesn't work. He uses the spear, which is an overused move. I don't see main event of WrestleMania when I look at Tony D'Angelo. I don't even think I see mid card when I see Tony D'Angelo.
I think he is trying really hard to reinvent himself, and for that I applaud him. But
you don't reinvent yourself while holding the world title. Like, can we get the reinvention beforehand?
I think that was my biggest question because I'm not 100% locked into NXT every single week. And I don't really know what the character of Tony D'Angelo is right now.
Bro, we got no reaction coming out there.
And they popped for him to win, though.
They did, but he just looked so bland. And the music was bland. The presentation was bland. He came out there menacing. It just didn't work. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think he probably why couldn't he have done the mob boss character all the way? And man, just started out in the main roster. Why not? Have him lose the mob boss character roster.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think the mob boss stuff could work if it wasn't just as hokey as they made it.
Even if it was hokey, though, Micah, do you remember the aristocrat that Triple H was when he got to WWE in the mid '90s? And then he went through and he evolved his character throughout the year. You telling me we couldn't get a similar type trajectory? I'm not saying Tony D's gonna be Triple H level, but man, why couldn't we just start him out with a goofy character? I don't care, man. At least he has a gimmick.
Yeah. I mean, that's one way to look at it. I think I need to see a little bit more of what Tony D'Angelo brings to the table. I'll
Let
just
me
say
ask you this.
this.
Let me ask you before you hit me with that. Did that make you want to watch NXT? Tony D'Angelo is the new world champion.
Over Joe Hendry, yes.
Okay. All right.
Just being honest. Because I think
Okay.
Hendry,
We're not
his
we're not comparing 1-to-1. We're just saying in a vacuum, is that going to make you watch NXT? Tony D.
maybe not him individually, but I will say him winning over Hendry. I'm like, okay, maybe we're in a different direction. Because Hendry, I see Hendryhausen. I see Hendryhausen making lots of t-shirts and being fun, goofy, interplay on Raw and SmackDown.
Okay.
But that's it.
Well, he had a
But
match with Randy. WrestleMania.
see, we're already look at the state of Randy now. Hendry's already cursing people.
Okay. All right.
But regardless, maybe I could see something with Tony D. I'll give it a shot. I'll see what he's got going on. I'll just say this to kind of end it out. I just think when you are the first Grand Slam NXT champion, that says a lot.
Wasn't he I think he's the third Triple Crown champion they have. Gargano, Adam Cole, and now Tony D'Angelo.
And you see, well, but look at the state of those guys. That's what I'm saying. When you stay in developmental that long, it says a lot. I like Tony D. Like maybe he could turn it around, but I don't know.
Look at all the other guys. I know you weren't watching at the time, but they had a big 2.0 NXT versus Black and Gold NXT War Games match when 2.0 like was just starting out, and they had Tony D'Angelo, they had Carmelo Hayes, they had Grayson Waller, they had Trick Williams, and they had Braun Breaker on one team, and then you had the Black and Gold guys on the other team. And just to see where all the other guys are on the 2.0 side in that War Games match, and looking at Tony D'Angelo, it just seems like Tony D'Angelo doesn't know what Tony D'Angelo should be because he's still trying to find himself. 5 years later, and all those other guys have moved on to a defined role in the main roster. That says a lot about Tony D.
Yeah.
We'll give it a chance. We'll be there. Maybe not on the weekly shows, but we'll check in and see what he's doing periodically here and there. But I'm not a fan of the current iteration of Tony D'Angelo.
Overall, I thought it was an okay show. It didn't feel WrestleMania worthy. I will say this. I know you're going to call me broke. Watching it on YouTube with no premium or anything, I would rather step on hot coals for like 15 minutes. Oh my God.
I was just going to say that it was a great viewing experience because I didn't get all the ads, but yeah, I can see how that would be a pain with the basic premium of YouTube.
Like, I kid you not, I think I got like 5 or 6 ad breaks in the main event.
See, we don't do that over here. Come to my house, you never see an ad. We don't get advertised to over here, pal.
If NXT continues to stay on YouTube for the shows, I may have to consider it, especially with the AAA shows as well.
Get that VPN, pal. Come over to Netflix.
NXT I forgot it was on Netflix. I have a VPN. I suffered through probably an hour of ads for nothing.
Yeah, come on. Watch the big shows on Netflix, man. Great viewing experience.
Well, some would say that the price for YouTube Premium is just too much. And CM Punk had to say that the ticket prices for WrestleMania were just too much. We'll move on to Raw, and he being CM Punk, opened up the show with a pipe bomb. He was sitting in the ring, legs crossed, world championship on.
they were in Houston, and he went over the long history of Houston wrestling, which didn't really get a big pop like I thought it would. He brought up, Paul Bosch and Houston wrestling, and them not even a smattering of applause for that. Like,
Well, CM Punk, like we always say, he's the last of a dying breed. He is truthfully the last territory wrestler.
but you
And
figure that get a big pop in Houston though. I guess
I
all the
just,
hardcore Houston fans got priced out.
well, not only that, I think it's just, I don't know, wrestling history just, there, it's just become more casual. And it kind of pains me to say, as somebody that does like the history of things. But where do we begin with this, right? I could throw some buzzwords at you, Ryan, and kind of hit the high points. We got Pat McAfee. He talked
Huh?
about Nick Khan, Ari Emanuel, the ticket prices, Roman failing at football, Rock being a former Hollywood star. He called The Rock bloated. He
He
pointed out
crossed
that
the line there.
Roman wasn't at he pointed out that Roman wasn't at Raw. You pick your favorite.
Man, nobody could have delivered this promo like CM Punk. So we got to start out by giving CM Punk all the flowers in the world because this was legitimately promo of the year, and it was a completely opposite side of the spectrum when it comes to comparing Cody Rhodes promo from Friday, which was essentially the same thing, comparing that to what CM Punk cut on Monday. And yeah, man, I don't know where to start when it comes to glazing this promo, but yeah, it was a great promo, Michael. What else can I say? I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's one of those things that I start to just point at the sign because people tried to tell me that Roman was cooking Punk and Punk's washed and Roman's a better promo than Punk and it shows. And then you see something like this and you compare Roman's best promo to when he's like, you're old. Like, come
But
on now.
I don't think there's any coming back from Punk saying that I got FU money and I took my ball and went home when the old man tried to get me to do something that I didn't want to do. Meanwhile, you purposely ate dog food for a weird old man. I don't think there's any coming back from a line like that. Like, what can Roman say that's a better line than that, Mike?
I really don't know. Other than, I mean, I guess you bring up the
The
UFC
UFC?
career.
I don't think that's like as bad.
Yeah. Honestly, that was kind of the most Cena line out of all of it because it just went below the belt. There's not really a whole lot you can say. It just wasn't as bad because Roman wasn't face to face with him.
CM Punk called Roman a buck-toothed nepo baby who ate dog food for a weird old man. I don't know how you. That's just stop the fight, stop the match.
Yeah, I think this just once again, like it cements that there is no one like CM Punk. He is a top 3 promo all time. You ask me, on a specific day, I might could even put him at the 1 spot, depending on who. I don't know, man. He is the only person, like you said, that could have delivered this promo. He is the
It
only person that feels this real in today's wrestling.
it felt like he went off the rails and he was just shooting from the hip. I know it's probably it's a work shoot and all, but it just felt like they just said, Punk, go go sell us some tickets, go talk them into the building, and he just let loose because he kind of started losing the crowd at the beginning when he was talking about Houston wrestling. They started chanting what, but by the time he got over to that announce table and started cutting in the Roman Reigns,
He had him.
that's when the crowd, yeah, he had him. He had him. And then he went over there to the barricade and brought up the Pat McAfee reveal on Friday, which was like, you didn't think they were going to go there. And then he tops it off with complaining that TKO needs to to drop the ticket prices. I don't. What else can you say about this, man? It was picture perfect.
I also
Everybody wanted
love.
wild. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say I also love the way that he brought the ticket prices up because he said, "I want you to lower the ticket prices so all these people in Houston can see me whoop Roman Reigns at WrestleMania." Because that's really like if he had just said lower these ticket prices, that would be one thing. But like with that behind it, it's like he even used that to throw a dig at like Roman.
Yeah. Excellent.
I
He
think
had to.
there's been a lot of discourse around this as well. And
Yeah,
I also made a
I was
TikTok
thinking that
about
this
it.
was. Yeah, I was thinking this is going to be universally praised, Micah. But then those comments, and you were just saying that you made a TikTok about it. What were you saying?
Well, there's just a lot of discourse to me where people, and like I said, I talked about this in that video, maybe a little better, but people hold CM Punk to this unreal standard of like every single thing he says is just micro analyzed into what this callback and this callback. And at the end of the day, I said a line in there that CM Punk, the character, has always been known to tell the truth, tell the reality of the situation. But ultimately, we, me, you, any fan out there, do not know CM Punk in real life. When CM Punk goes to do a podcast with Barstool, that's performing. He is putting on a performance. Do you, in your heart of hearts, believe that CM Punk is the same CM Punk that goes home to AJ Lee? It's that there's an old like I want to say it's like a Japanese like adage or something. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it's like there's three types of you. There's the you that you know, there's the you that your personal family knows, and there's the you that the public knows. And truthfully, we don't know anything about CM Punk except for the Punk that the public knows. So this reality that he bleeds or blends into is truthfully the reality that he creates. It's what we think we know about CM Punk, right? But you don't really know. So I hate when people go in and they say that, well, Punk is performative. He doesn't actually care about the ticket prices. He just cares about his money. He doesn't actually care about the No, CM Punk could care about the ticket prices, but also realize that like yes, he is getting a check. I would like to pose the question to anybody out there. Do you like every single decision that your employer makes? If you work at McDonald's, do you like every single decision that the CEOs make? If you work at Publix or Walmart, I'm sure you don't agree with the fact that the hamburger meat is $13 a pound or whatever it's up to now. That's probably not far off if we're being completely honest. I'm sure you don't agree with that. I'm sure if you work for Lockheed Martin, you probably don't agree with every single thing that gets done with what Lockheed Martin makes, right? So why are we holding CM Punk to this standard of like, well, he should just quit if he doesn't agree with WWE does? He should just quit. Are you going to quit your job because you don't agree with what the higher ups at your job do? No, because you're a common man. We're all common men working our 9 to 5, just getting paid. And that is no different than CM Punk. I don't know why people hold him to this standard like he has to just quit his job if he doesn't agree with it. But everybody else is fine. My other favorite wrestlers, they're fine. They don't have to call out the issues with WWE. But CM Punk does. And since he does call it out, he should just quit.
And I
Why
think it's
why do we do
I
this
think
with him?
I think it's too many smart fans that are afraid to get worked, Micah. I think that's an issue as well. Too many smart Mark fans think they know the real ins and outs of things. Like, oh, CM Punk, he really doesn't hate TKO. He's back there high-fiving Triple H as we speak. Like, bro, just take it as a TV show, man. Jeez, Louis. Did you stand up at the end of No Way Home, Micah? And did you yell to the movie theater that, all these Spider-Mans really didn't work together, you guys? You shouldn't be cheering this. Did you do that in the theater for No Way Home, Micah?
No.
No, you just took it out how it was, man. Who cares? It was a great promo, and it was a great work shoot promo at that. Just take it as it is. We don't always have to overthink the room here, guys.
And we don't have to, just damn people for their personal situations and that their character that they portray online, or not online, but on TV, does not match up with their real life beliefs.
Oh, this is just damage control, Micah. TKO really don't care about the ticket prices. What they didn't care, they wouldn't have brought it up in this promo. So, I mean, at least, and then there was a report going around today, Micah, that they are dropping the ticket prices for shows all the way into next summer. And it was I put that thread to read what was going on in there, and just people being negative Nancy, saying, oh, well, it's just for now. They're gonna raise it after the summer, and let's not pretend like they shouldn't have done this to start with. Like, it's very tiresome, Micah. Very tiresome.
There always has to be something wrong with it.
I got IWC fatigue, Micah. Is that a thing? IWC fatigue. The Just Enjoy Wrestling crowd needs to take their own advice and just enjoy wrestling. Because the same people that are saying that we're, dumb, hick, redneck, red-pilled, pedophile fans that are too stupid to know what's really going on behind the scenes are the same fans that are eating up the Tony Storm sexual innuendo jokes and the new look for Leo Rush, telling you that's the greatest thing ever. And when Ricochet says something controversial on Twitter, he's being a generational heel. Those are the same fans, Micah. And maybe we all just need to take our own advice and just enjoy wrestling, guys. Just enjoy wrestling.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, I don't know, but we'll see. Obviously, Punk, generational talent, and if they're lowering the ticket prices, a step in the right direction. I'm so sick of people, and yes, I know we take the time out of our week to watch this wrestling, and we come on here, and we don't always have positive things to say. But my God, I'm sick of there being something wrong with every single thing that CM Punk does. Once again, man, if you need to, go to your doctor. Get in with your local physician. I hope you got health insurance. They make pills for Punk derangement syndrome. Please take them. I'm just sick of the discourse, man. But regardless of all that, let's get to the big, meaty men slapping meat, the best build of WrestleMania. Yes, we're talking about Obafemi and Brock Lesnar. They had the main event segment on Raw, which, again, look at my guy go, because the main event 2 weeks before Mania is insane for your first WrestleMania. But we had the contract signing between him and Brock Lesnar. There wasn't a whole lot of signing, but there was a whole lot of fighting. I think that this is the only, Triple H is shooting 1 for 5. He's 0 for 4 from 3, but he got one fast break layup right. And it's Obafemi and Brock Lesnar. These guys don't have to say words. They just got to aura farm and come out and fight and look cool while doing it. And they've done that. This right here, I was captivated from the moment Paul came out with Lesnar. Then Oba comes out. The people, they rock with the music. They rock with him. It's it takes your breath away to see these two just mountains of men lock up. And I thought this segment was excellent. I thought that I was really shocked and almost disgusted and appalled at Oba's physical strength. I don't know if you saw this, Ryan. He one hand picked up an office chair and threw it across the ring.
Yeah, he's a shot put champion, Micah.
That is disgusting strength that no man should have.
Yeah, well, he's the ruler.
But Ryan, what did you think about it? They did announce the order of WrestleMania, so this will, it appears, to be the opener of the first hour, which will be streamed on Netflix for WrestleMania Night 2. What do you think about that decision as well?
Well, it'll be streaming on ESPN for that first hour, both nights. But yeah, it's good that they're gonna have that as the free match to go to, because we brought this up on last week's show. But if you're an ESPN watcher, you know who Brock Lesnar is, and when Brock Lesnar is standing across the ring from Obafemi, it's gonna make Obafemi a bigger star and get more eyeballs on Obafemi. So I think it's a win-win. Now, as far as the segment goes here, they didn't do anything to, they didn't do anything that they haven't done over the last couple weeks, which is not a bad thing. It's been good to great every single week they've been in the ring together. Maybe I would have liked a little more dialogue with Oba from the lead up of this, but I mean, it's working so far, so good. They didn't sign the contract here, Micah, so I don't think it's official yet. No contract was signed.
That is true.
So we're gonna get a redo next week.
I could see it maybe with like no physicality and enough security. That is one thing I will say failed this feud, but I would have liked to have seen some type of promo.
Give me some doubt. Yeah, I want to see something on Oba. Can I hear him say anything in the backstage?
Yeah, because we know Brock can't really do it.
Can we do a split screen? Let's do a split screen.
I'm good with that. Because Oba can talk, and I don't want people to think that he's just a mute.
No, yeah, he can. Got a good promo. Having him and Brock on a split screen, in different parts of the arena, and then maybe Oba says something smart to Brock, and then Brock wants to find out where he is, and then they find each other and they start laying some hands to each other. I think that'd be pretty good for the next week's Raw, but we'll see where they go. So far, this is probably I used to say it was the best built match they've had, but CM Punk's brought me back, and so I'll say it's the second best built match they've had as far as the lead up to WrestleMania. But this is gonna be a highly anticipated matchup when they finally lock up.
Yeah, I'm still putting this one over it right now. Maybe it's just the tide's turning in my Oba fandom, but Punk is still my guy. But like Oba, I'm just kind of ready for the fresh wave. So I'm excited to see what they do. I do hate that I have to, wait for night 2 to see both of my favorites, but that's neither here nor there. A wild week in wrestling, but this weekend we've got AEW Dynasty. Now we are recording this Tuesday, so I'm assuming more of this card will be fleshed out as the week goes on, because right now we only have 5 matches on this card.
It's crazy that we're getting 2 AEW pay-per-views before WrestleMania.
Yeah. Before between Elimination Chamber and WrestleMania, we got 2.
Yeah. Yeah, how crazy is that?
So it'll be a busy few weeks for us. I'll go ahead and say it here. I'll probably mention it again in the close. Next week, our schedule is as follows. Tuesday, we will have the Dynasty review for you guys. Then Thursday, it will come out Wednesday. Then Thursday night, we will record. Friday, you guys will get the WrestleMania preview episode. We'll run down Raw. And if anything crazy happens on SmackDown, we'll hit it. That way it's before the latest SmackDown. Preview the Hall of Fame. Preview WrestleMania. it'll be a busy week, but it'll be a fun week. So make sure you come check us out for both of those episodes. But Ryan, some AEW Dynasty predictions. Like I said, we've only got 5 matches as of right now. Maybe they'll keep it a tight card, but I won't hold my breath considering their history. A tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team Championship, FTR versus Cope and Cage.
You bet the house on Cope and Cage here, especially in Toronto. Yeah, Cope and Cage.
Oh, well, it's in Vancouver, but, close
Oh,
enough.
well, yeah, Canucks. All the same.
I'm sorry. I better get my prediction here too. Yeah. It's gonna be Cope and Cage. No way they lose in Canada. Following that, for the AEW Continental Championship, we've got Jon Moxley versus Will Ospreay.
I'll go Moxley here. I think they give it to Mox.
I think they're also gonna give it to Mox because it's kind of early for him, and he never loses, and they never change hands with the Continental Championship.
They want Will to be the cornerstone of that match in Wembley, so he won't win any title until then.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even think about it like that. But yeah, there's only been 3 champions for this Continental Championship. Okada held it for 640 days, so
That's insane.
I'm
What do you do
sure
with that?
Moxley's going to keep it. I could not tell you one feud. I remember the initial Eddie and Okada feud, and after that, I think some Takeshita stuff that never panned out because they never do with him, but what do I know? Following that, we've got Andrade El Idolo versus Darby Allin. If Darby Allin wins, he gets a future AEW World Championship match.
I'll go El Idolo.
I would like Andrade to win because I very much enjoyed what Andrade is doing, but with the stipulation, I feel like they're going to give it to Darby, maybe to run the Double or Nothing match, and then you segue MJF Ospreay going into the summer. But we'll see.
Whoa. Who says we're gonna get MJF as the world champion going into that match?
Oh, you don't think?
We'll talk about it. Let's keep it rocking.
Following that, for the AEW Women's World Championship, Tekla, Ryan's favorite, versus Jamie Hayter.
You're gonna go with Tekla here, I guess.
Got to.
Yeah.
And right now, what is going to be the main event, AEW World Championship match, MJF versus Kenny Omega.
This is interesting. I think Omega actually wins this match.
Really?
I think so. I think so. And then we get that Omega versus Osprey match in Wembley. Omega gets that final because he's winding down. He'll get that final run as a babyface world champion, and you know how Tony loves to take care of his guys he's had since day one. And yeah, I can see Omega winning this title and him passing the torch eventually to Will Ospreay and at Wembley. Have they had a match so far? Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega?
Yeah, they had one in New Japan and they had one at Forbidden Door.
No, Bob. Did they? Oh, they had a Forbidden Door.
Yeah, I think I think Ospreay might have still been signed to New Japan though.
Oh, okay. Well, I can see that happening at Wembley. I can see that.
I could see it, but I think with the momentum that AEW has, I think it's no secret that typically when AEW is at its hottest, it is with MJF at the top. I think in Wembley, you can have a big babyface moment. Ospreay defeating the heel champion with MJF. I don't think it has to be super overbooked, and I don't think we've seen that match before. So personally, I think that's what we're building towards. But I will say this. It is probably one of the most interesting AEW main events in a while to me because I think it will be a very good match, probably a great match. And I also think that it's super unpredictable. So it's kind of one of those you got to watch live if you don't want to get spoiled.
Yeah, when's the last time we disagree with a main event match like that in AEW?
No idea. I will say this. We've been critical a lot. I think tides are turning for them. There are things that I am interested in.
Are you sure?
It's not everything. I'm not saying that they're like my ace, my number one anymore. Like they were at one point in time. But maybe
I've been so bored with that week-to-week television, man. I'm sorry. I can't get into it. I'm trying. I'll ask you what to watch, and I'll watch it.
Jericho's back, so maybe he makes an appearance as well. We didn't even really have time to talk about that.
Yeah.
But we got Dynamite tomorrow night, so we'll see what they do on the Go Home show. We appreciate you guys coming in and listening to us. Make sure you check out the socials at scoopslammedpod, Instagram, TikTok. If you're not following us there, make sure you do so you know every time we're scooping and slamming. Like I said, big week next week. Dynamite or Dynasty review coming Wednesday. WrestleMania preview coming Friday. Then come hang out with us Saturday and Sunday for the WrestleMania live streams. We appreciate all you guys. Have a good week. Come back next week. Take care.